Yeah, this brings me to the types of medias. So you have different types of media. So the classical medias of brands are those which are purchased and controlled by the brand. For example, if you're doing online display ads on Google, you have to pay for them, and they are called paid media. Or if you're doing mass media, television media, or radio media, these are the typical paid media, which are paid and controlled by the brand. In other words, controlled means that the brand is saying what they want to advertise. For example, a television spot, or for example, an online banner. They exactly tell and create the brand, and they control the content, but they have to pay for it. And the problem of the paid media is today that paid media become less and less credible, because customers know that they are paid and pay less attention, and they trust less into paid media than in earned media. Because on the opposite, you have the earned media, which are actually the media of the content created, controlled by the customer. For example, word of mouth or reviews. These are media that a brand earns if they satisfy the customer. And that is why it's important to have customer satisfaction, because only satisfied customers are doing positive word of mouth. Because if they're dissatisfied, the earned media can even become negative, because you have negative customers, they're sharing bad word of mouth. And when they share bad opinions, then the other customers don't buy, or the prospects don't buy. That is why it's important to earn this media, so to engage customers, and come back to the social media zones. So it's important to have a community to give customers the opportunity to share positive reviews, positive opinions, but to give them also the opportunity to talk to them if they have negative experiences. That's the task of the community manager. Yeah, so you need a community manager who has to listen to the net, to the customers who have had a bad experience. And remember, we said that social media is more and more used for service recovery and complaint management. So it's very important to give the customers the opportunity to interact with the brand when they are dissatisfied, in order to resolve quickly the problem. That is why also social community is important, because you can directly interact with the customers in order to avoid negative word of mouth. But if you have the luck that customers are doing positive word of mouth, you can give them the opportunity to share that. And this has much more impact than paid media, because customers share much more reviews and content from other customers than paid media that are paid by the brand. So this is the opposite: paid media, which are paid by the firm, earned media, which are done by the customers. And you have in the middle owned media, which are created by the brand and are controlled also by the brand. For example, websites or this. And so generally, firms start to create own media. They create a brand community. It's an owned media. And on this owned media, you give customers the opportunity to interact with the brand and to create earned media. So it's important, because sometimes you will find also on Facebook fan pages which were created not by the brand, but by customers. Because if you leave the fan page to the customers, you don't control it. So they might post things which you don't want they post. That is why it's very important to give, and before customers start creating fan pages for you, for the brand, it's very important to create a fan page on social media, and then to give the customers the opportunity to contribute to this fan page. Because then, as a community manager, you can control negative word of mouth. You can control what the customers share and what they don't share. As a community manager, you can eliminate negative word of mouth. You can discuss with customers who have done negative word of mouth. That's a good mean to resolve a problem, because if somebody is doing negative word of mouth, it means that he or she is dissatisfied. That is why it's a good mean to contact directly the person on social media and to understand why he or she is dissatisfied. This is called also service recovery or complaint management. If they're dissatisfied, they will explain why they're dissatisfied. And in most cases, you can resolve a conflict very easily by only interacting on your fan page. And that is why I come back to owned media. It's important to control your fan pages, because only in that case, if you're the owner of the fan page on social media, then you can control the content and get in contact with dissatisfied customers. And you see it here again, the difference between paid media. This is actually what the firm is paying online on Google. Mostly today, advertisements are done with Google. And you have the owned media, which are corporate websites or blogs or fan pages. And you have the earned media, which are created actually by the customers. But ideally, this should be done on the owned media, right? Because only then you control what the customers are doing on the earned media. So that's very important, that you give always the customers the opportunity to interact with brands in order to control the information which is posted about them. Here you see again the different medias
according to the social media zones.
If you look at paid medias,
for the social community, examples are
social ads and likes, social publishing, paid media is endorsement and branded channels, social game ads
for social entertainment,
and sales promotions for social commerce. If you look at earned medias for social community, it's conversations you engage with customers, and so it's much more interactive. It's a C2 customer to customer interactions, or customer to brand interactions, or brand to customer interactions. So it's much more interactive and engaged. For social publishing, shares, links, word of mouth, but also blogs or YouTube videos. For social entertainment, in-game interactions, and above all for social commerce, give social shopping, social links, and you give the opportunity to give reviews. So you can see here, the earned medias are much more interactive and co-created by the customer. Social media marketing is all about the participation, as customers can engage in earned media with a brand, and they can share their opinion, they can share their conversation, they can share photos, they can share likes, they can share videos, they can create blogs, they can create YouTube videos, they can do reviews.